Hey, my legion. How y'all doing today? I'm back with a movie review. And this time I saw Friday night. Um, and I saw it a long time ago at my sister's on Netflix. And I really enjoyed it. And then they took off Netflix. Now it's a movie called it's Electric Boogaloo, the wild untold story of Cannon Films. Now I remember seeing I went to in 2014. I think I saw some Chuck Norris Cannon movies, and they came with the documentary. It's like, oh man, I want to see that. And sadly, I saw it on Netflix after Dad passed away, because my dad would enjoy it, and then he would because they had a lot of boobs in it. But it's a wild history of Cannon Films, and I grew up loving to rent Cannon Films. I mean, a lot of critics would stay away from Cannon Films, but I would usually rent them because I enjoyed them. And they were known for more schlock and stuff like that. But my history with Cannon Films was, I don't know when I started getting got a VCR, we started watching more stuff. But Elvira would show the older Cannon Films. That's before Golden Globus bought the company. They bought it in the early '80s. But they were the Cannon company called Cannon would release movies like Blood on Satan's Claw, Schizoid, which ended up being on Universal Video, which is pretty cool. It's distributed by Universal. Alien Contamination, but that was my very first gore film I ever saw on Elvira. It was kind of cut out. There was a lot of gore in it for what it was. My dad said, it's too gruesome. And I love Alien Contamination. That was my first introduction to gore films, pretty much there. And I think this was before we got VCR, I'm pretty sure. And I remember recording or they had New Year's Eve, that was a Cannon film. They usually put a lot of the old Cannon films on there, like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hype, The Godsend, and these are stuff from the 70s and stuff. And I guess they were doing movies, a lot of sex stuff too, and they showed nudity and stuff. And then they talked about Menachem Golan, and I get the name screwed up. They're Israel, and they were making movies way back in the 60s and stuff, and they had some minor success. And then they decided they conquered the Israeli market because they made a lot of movies, right? I saw The Passage. No, The Passage was something about, I can't remember, Muhammad. And you're not allowed to show Muhammad, and they didn't show him. It was something about it. I did see that religious movie they did back before they went bigger, and it went to they bought the American company. And talking about them buying the American company, they were doing stuff they started doing stuff like the Chuck Norris movies. And then they did Chuck and Charles Bronson stuff too. Cause I remember renting a lot of stuff, a lot of Chuck Norris and stuff. And they talked about Missing in Action. And I never heard of the guy, Joseph Holt or something like that, went to the Philippines to direct Missing in Action. The Vietnam movie, right? And then I figured since it's Chuck Norris, and Chuck Norris was their first big major deal. They bought him they signed a five movie deal for $5 million. I get $1 million a movie, right? And the first one was supposed to be the one filmed the Vietnam one, the big. And then they pretty be such a hit. They had Joseph Zito do another Missing in Action movie. And then he said he went to view the original Missing in Action. He said it was terrible. And what happened was, Ken said if they show the Joseph Zito movie first, it would save the franchise. If they showed the other movie first, it would kill it. So what they did, and this is the first time I ever heard a prequel before, right? They released the second, bigger budgeted Missing in Action. Had that one guy's a good actor, Walsh or whatever his name is. He was a J.T. Walsh or something. I can't remember his name. He's a good actor. That was the really big budgeted one. And then they decided to put that one second. So, it was a prequel. And I never heard the term prequel before. That was the first for me. They might have had it before. I don't know. And yeah, it was interesting. And then, like, they signed Charles Bronson and stuff. And I saw something like Murphy's Law. I finally saw Murphy's Law again. Murphy's Law was great. A lot of Charles Bronson was good, but the critics hated, like, the Chuck Norris, most of the movies. And, of course, they did work with, they did work with Tobe Hooper, right? And they did some of the big budget Life Force, which I didn't see till I was in Germany. Invasion from Mars, which I rented, and I liked it, and Dad, my Uncle Wayne hated it, said the aliens look stupid. They kind of look stupid, but I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I remember I didn't see the original till a few years after that, but I did see his Invasion from Mars, and like it didn't do well at the box office. I think my dad hated the thing with that girl eating a frog. She's that silly. But I mean, it was an entertaining movie. I liked it. I mean, the aliens look silly though, but oh well. And he went on to do the sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And they just let him do what he wanted to do, right? And he made a gory movie. I mean, like the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, people say it's like a gory film, and it's really not. It's just theme. I mean, there's some gore, and a little bit of gore if you catch it right, but very little. Very little bloodshed in it. Whereas the second one, there's a lot of bloodshed in it. And they finally saw the movie, and they were mad. They said, "Hey, you made a comedy. You didn't make a horror film. You made a comedy." Because he wanted to expand on the dark humor. There was a little bit of dark humor in the original one, but they had a lot of humor in the second one. I love the second one. I love the first one and the second one. Third one with Jeff Burt, Fourth one, Matthew McConaughey, But I mean, people say that's the worst one. I think Leatherface was the worst one. The last one that came out, that really sucked. I mean, at least that tried to be a Chainsaw Massacre, and then like they had like the remake and then sequel, the prequel to the remake or something like that. It was good, and they had like the 3D one. I don't barely remember those. They all by the time the Texas Chainsaw movies run together, it's hard to remember some of that stuff. But I liked it. I really loved Texas Chainsaw 2. The first two are the best. But I don't want to get into I want to review the movie. And they were talking about, I mean, they didn't have too many hits, and then they came out with Breakin'. And that was a huge hit with a very low budget. And they made like 21 million or something like that. And it became a hit. And then they had a hit, and then they started doing a whole bunch of rap movies like, well, they beat Beat Street, and Beat Street wasn't very good either, because Beat Street and that one came out at the same time. And they were trying to beat Beat Street from Orion Pictures, and Beat Street was lame. I did see that one. Breaking was cool. I liked that, the dancing stuff. I never saw a sequel with Electric Boogaloo. That's why you see, like, I mean, I'll say, like, Friday the 13th Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, or something like that. It's just being silly. Because it's such a unusual title. And then they talk about, like, there's something I didn't know about. They were going to do a Spider-Man movie. And they thought it'd be neat doing a Marvel property. But then the two other superhero type movies, Superman 4, the thing to do Superman 4 came out, Quest for Peace, and then He-Man's Master Universe. And an unusual story about this. I mean, I'm reviewing this for Wet Wednesday. You're not going to miss a review. This is the sparkling ice and caffeine. Stay tuned for Wet Wednesday to see what I think about that. But anyways, Warner Brothers gave them. Well, I mean, Christopher Reeves didn't want to do another Superman movie, and he wanted to do there was another project he wanted to do called Street Smart. So Can said, "We'll do Street Smart if you do Superman 4." And he said, "Okay." And I know Warner Brothers gave him was give them like $35 million. What they did was they took a lot of the money for that movie and whittled the plot down, made it really cheap, like $17 million. You know, that's still a lot of money. And gave spent all the rest of the money on He-Man. And they're always trying to like see like we're going to get Academy Award nomination for this. It usually didn't happen until like movies like Runaway Train did really well. Academy critics loved that. Othello, they did a foreign film Othello that got nominated for best of foreign film. I don't know if it won Academy Award. With Street Smart, that showed the upcoming. That was the upcoming movie from Morgan Freeman was in. Morgan Freeman he was like a pimp. He got supporting actor nomination for that movie, Street Smart. No, too many people remember. I rented it in Fort Detrick, Maryland. It's a good movie. I mean, the critics were raving about that film, and they said how good he was in that. And they were doing stuff like 52 Pickup, just other actors and stuff. And then, like, eventually they started going downhill. They had, like, an agreement with MGM. And all the movies, the one guy, CEO MGM, said they handed him nothing but garbage for the most part. I think they dropped him and stuff. And they talked about the Lou Ferrigno Hercules, which I enjoyed. Well, Hercules wanted to do a family film, and then, like, Sybil Danning said she do, like, a dirtier version or R-rated version. And, you know, and there's, like I said, there's nudity. I didn't know they were involved with a Happy Hooker Goes to Watch. There's some nudity in the movie. And, of course, the Bolero movie, which I never saw. The Bo Derek Bolero. Which I think got unrated. Or came out unrated, and there was a warning for that, I think. Because of explicit content. I mean, erotic content, not straight up pornography. There's a difference, you know. It was too raunchy for an R rating. This is before NC-17 came out. And they said if you have too much violence, too much this, you'll get an X rating. So I think they decided to go not rated with that. And, you know, it just talks about their demise because they started buying all these, they were just spending too much money and stuff like that. You know, it was just, but it was a very interesting movie. I really liked it. I think one of the last movies I remember seeing, Indigo, which had they had Jean-Claude Van Damme. They had Bloodsport. Jean-Claude Van Damme movies were really good. That was I think that saved their butt a little bit because they had a new action star with him. Right? I'll tell you the Cannes films I saw in the theater. And most of those were was I was in Germany. I remember they had Indigo, I saw that. Marvelous Marvin Hagler was in that. I think that was him. Yeah, he was starting, but it was some other actor. I never heard of him. It was okay about the rainforest. It was all right. Indigo was okay. And then they tried to do stuff like Hannah's War Bang there, and then that got some critical acclaim. They tried to do serious stuff too, but mostly it was like action films and stuff like that, which was cool. And I think the very last thing I heard from Cannon was they came out right about when I was getting ready to leave the Army. They had Chuck Norris, the Hitman. And it sucked because I was getting ready to go back to Fort Bragg from Fort Detrick, Maryland, and the Hitman was playing in a theater because I would definitely want to see the Hitman. I wanted to see that. I didn't see that till like a year or two later. I rented it, and it was only okay. I don't remember that movie at all. I remember seeing Delta Force and stuff like that, Delta Force 2. Those were great. Hitman was only okay. And then after that, I didn't see them do a whole lot. They did more low-budgeted stuff. They did some Street Night, like a apocalyptic version with Jeff Speakman, who was slated to be the next action star. And he was in a movie that Paramount released called The Perfect Weapon with Mako. And this is Paramount, not Canon. And that was a great movie, but it flopped bad. And then you didn't see Jeff Speakman do a whole lot of other stuff. He did that, and he was in some kids movie about Atlantis or something like that. I watched about 10 minutes. I gave up on that. I did watch Street Night. Street Night was cool. I saw it on cable. And then they started doing less and less. And I don't think they're doing movies anymore. No, they're definitely not doing movies anymore. But, I mean, it was fun while it lasted. I usually enjoy most of the Cannon films. And they didn't talk about everything. They didn't mention Alien Contamination, which sucked. There was some weird Italian film called Aladdin, which was really strange. I rented that. They did from the 80s. That was weird. But, I mean, I love Cannon films, and the documentary is fantastic. It's 10 out of 10. Highly recommend it. I saw it there's a copy on YouTube that has like foreign language at the bottom. I mean, it's in English, so it's still cool. Let's talk about the Cannon films I saw in the theater. But usually I would rent them. If I saw Cannon, I'd rent it. And usually MGM would have the big box, say Cannon, and they had like POW The Escape. I remember my friend was saying like, they're trying to rip off Platoon. It said Platoon, and underneath it said Leader in small letters. Oh, and they had Michael Dudikoff in there too. They talk about ninja movies. They started the whole ninja craze. A lot of ground to cover because they did a whole bunch of movies. I was talking about the Cannon films I saw in the theater. See if I can remember them. I saw a couple of the Charles Bronson movies. I remember seeing, I barely remember Missing in Action, Braddock Missing in Action 3. I barely remember that one. People didn't like that one, but I thought it was a cool movie. I barely remember it, though. But it was a cool show. And then the only movie I saw at the theater with Charles Bronson was Death Wish 4, The Crackdown, which was pretty lousy. There was a scene with a big explosion. You see those dummies playing in it. It was a really cheaply made movie. And I had a chance to see 2 other Charles Bronson movies, but I had to work because I worked shift work. And in Germany, it was The Messenger and Messenger of Death, and which is only okay. And Can You Take Forbidden Subject was really good. I had a chance to see those two, but I wasn't able to see it. I had to work, And I saw The Hero and the Terror, that other Chuck Norris movie. My dad never saw it, so I got to see it with Dad too, like years later. I only watched it once. And I saw Delta Force 2, Operation Stranglehold. That had nothing to do with the first Delta Force. And actually, a lot of critics really liked the first Delta Force. I don't think they liked the second one, but oh well. I think that was all the Chuck Norris movies I saw in the theater. I'm pretty sure. And then I only saw one Charles Bronson. Now the other Cannon films I saw in the theater were the ones with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I've seen a bunch of those. I saw Bloodsport, which is I think his best movie. Saw Death Warrant. What, the Death Warrant when he pretended to be? I didn't care for that one. I might have to watch it a second time, but I have no really desire to. And I think Double Impact was canon too, if I'm not mistaken. And Double Impact was great when he was twins. That was a good one. I'm trying to think of any other canon films I've seen in the theater. That might have been it. But during the time in the Army. And I saw Cyborg. I rented that. Or I saw it on cable. I can't remember. And then, I saw Lionheart, but Lionheart was Imperial Entertainment. Lionheart was awesome. No one ever talks about Lionheart. Lionheart was a great movie. That was Imperial. That wasn't canon, though. Imperial Entertainment. I like Lionheart. I don't care what anyone said. Lionheart was great. And I think that's about it. Other movies he did, but I didn't see those in the theater. But I love canon. I always enjoyed canon movies, And Alien Contamination is just called Contamination now. But the guy who did Alien Contamination was released by Cannon before the Golden Globus bought him, right? They did, they were the ones that he was behind a Lou Ferrigno movie. I will say, I guess Lou Ferrigno yelled at the director and said, "This script is trash. It's supposed to be a family film. There's a scene with him, Hercules getting a blowjob and stuff like that." I kind of laughed at that. The Cannon documentary is fantastic. 10 out of 10. I thought I'd bring up my history of Cannon films, which I really like. So I hope you like this video, everybody. Till next time, please. Take care, my Legion. 18 minutes. I'm going to go 18 just to be crazy. And then it's weird. If you upload a video, right, it's really weird, right? Let's say you stop at 18:18. Or like say you do a short, it goes to 1 minute. Shorts are like a minute and under, And if you stop at like a minute and then you upload it, YouTube adds a second or two. It's really weird. So it's only like a minute movie, but they add a second. An extra second to it, so it's going to be, oh well. So I hope you like this video, everybody. Till next time, please. Like I said, take care, my Legion. Awesome. I love movie reviews. I love Cannon films. And there were some Cannon films that sucked. And I did see Platoon Leader. And I saw American Ninja. The Michael Dudikoff, American Ninja 2. And then, they had Avenging Force. And no one remembers that one. That was a good one. But, I do say, Cannon... they weren't theatrical. They were doing movies for the home video market after that, and then some of them weren't that good. I didn't bother seeing American Ninja 3 or 4, and they had some other ones that I didn't really go see. And then, they released Barfly. Barfly was a big hit. Mickey Rourke. First time I see Mickey Rourke. And Faye Dunaway, I think that got nominated. That was critically acclaimed. Some people hated it. That was about, the low-life bar people. And they tried to do serious movies. They had they had their own video company eventually. And there's some Jodie Foster movie, which I didn't really care for. But Barfly was great. And I think Faye Dunaway got nominated for Academy Award. Mickey Rourke might have. And he said the immortal line, "Your pussy smells like carpet cleaner." Great movie. I saw it in Germany, right? And I remember that one guy liked it, and the other guy said, man, this movie's nasty to look at. He didn't like it. And the same thing happened with another guy. We rented Sid and Nancy. I never seen Sid and Nancy before. Not a Cannon film. It's about a story about Sid Vicious and his girlfriend Nancy Spungen, right? And this one guy said, this movie's nasty to look at. I don't like it. I mean, he just came in to visit, because me and my friend Hoppy were watching it in the military in the room, right? Now, when I saw Barfly, I made a copy of it. I rented that because the critics were talking how good it was. It's one of the first movies I made a copy of when I was in Germany, right? I remember in the break room watching it, and one guy liked it, and the other guy gave me hell. Said, it's nasty to look at. I don't like it. But, I mean, that's the way people were back then. They're still like that now. So, but I give the Cannon documentary, Electric Boogaloo, The Wild, Crazy History of Cannon Films, or something like that. 10 out of 10, like I said. So, hope you like the video by 21 minutes now. I'll go to 21. I'll go to 21:21. How about that? I'm a rebel without a pause. So, hope you like the video by. Till next time, please take care, my legion. I'm going to sit here. It is 21:08 right now. Wait till 21:21 to stop. Then I got to put this computer back in and charge it again. So I took it out. I hope you like the neon sign. It's kind of hard to read. It's just angled, but my friend Heidi Day, who passed away, made it for me, and my friend Demonic Pretty did that awesome photo. Take care, my legion. So, I guess that's it, everybody. Take care. It went more than 21:21. I knew it would. All right, take care, everybody. Love you all. Bye.